But let me start with the New York Football Giants. And by the way, I do feel like an old man when I say New York Football Giants. It is kind of cliche to say. You do know why we say New York Football Giants, right? Okay, we say New York Football Giants because there used to be the New York Giants in baseball. It was a long time ago. You're like, there was? The San Francisco Giants were the New York Giants. Right? The Brooklyn Dodgers became the LA Dodgers. The New York Giants became the San Francisco Giants. And the New York Mets, do you know why the New York Mets wear orange and blue? If you combine the blue of the Brooklyn Dodgers, the orange of the New York Giants, you have the two, the orange and the blue. Anyway, the New York Football Giants have not been particularly good. Right? Like, we celebrated the results of the 2 Super Bowl wins, but the fact is that in the last 10 NFL seasons, they have exactly 2 double-digit winning seasons. 2. Whereas in the previous 10, they had 4. It's not just that they've been bad, they've fallen on supremely hard times. The Giants since 2013, okay, so remember, we're talking 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 6 seasons. They've won 7, 6, 6, 11, losing in the wild card, 3, and 5. You can pitch it to me however you want. That's not good. Even when they won the Super Bowl, they only won 9 regular season games, and they had to go on the road for all 3 games. You're talking 2 9-win seasons followed by a 7-win, followed by 2 6 wins. They had the 11-win season when they were beaten in the first round in the playoffs, then 3, then 5. So the Giants, of course, parted ways with Odell Beckham Jr., highest paid at his position. Olivier Vernon, when signed, highest paid at his position. Landon Collins walked in free agency. Co-owner of the Giants, John Mara, said Tuesday, you don't like to see all that talent go out the door. But let's face it, we've had 1 winning season, 2016, here in the last 5 or 6 years. We have not been so good since we won the Super Bowl. We need some drastic changes. I think it's best, he said, in terms of Daniel Jones. I think the best thing is about me, the best thing for me about Dave is he makes decisions that he feels are in the best interest of the franchise. He doesn't give a damn what people think, be in the media or the fans or anybody. He has the courage and his convictions, and you have to have that. He's set about to try and rebuild this team, change the culture in the locker room. There's not that much difference between what the Steelers are doing and what the Giants are doing. They're just starting from different places. The Steelers are a perennial playoff team that didn't make the playoffs. So they got rid of 2 of their 3 most expensive and high-priced assets. Now, Le'Veon didn't want to play, but he would have played if they would have overpaid him. And Antonio Brown, kind of the same thing. But they want to change their culture. They're not as good talent-wise, but better in terms of total overall buy-in. Helps you across the board. But you can't have the talent slip so much where you got a bunch of choir boys, you can't beat anybody. The Giants have won a combined 8 games over the past 2 years. That's terrible. For a perennial playoff powerhouse in the biggest market in the country with a Hall of Fame quarterback, that's just not good enough. And so they too have said, hey, the Vernon contract's a bad contract. Let's just move on. Landon Collins, let's just move on. And Odell Beckham Jr., a guy who has as much talent as anybody who's ever played the position, we can't get him to buy in to our ideals of what a winning player wants to be. He makes just too much money to act the way he acts. I've brought it up a bunch of times. Like that onside kick, that was his last play. Really as a Giant. They're playing against a playoff team. There's an onside kick. It's coming right at him. And instead of going after the football, which is his job, he made a, quote, business decision, which, by the way, he was given the big guaranteed contract before the season ever started, just for that type of play. Hey, don't worry. If you got to give up your body to go across the middle, we paid you. If you got to give up your body to field an onside kick, we paid you. So sorry, I wouldn't want that guy on my team either. And remember, some of this is also a reaction to what has happened with previous staffs. Jerry Reese was a very good general manager for a long time with the New York Giants. He too tried to rebuild that thing on the fly instead of reboot it. That's why they're rebooting it completely. But they also, remember, talked to Eli Manning about sitting him down in the fourth quarter. He balked and said, "You want to stop? You want to take me out? Stop the streak." They all voted to stop the streak, and then they all cowered at the sight of kind of public embarrassment and public backlash. Dave Gettleman doesn't care. Dave Gettleman's been empowered. Dave Gettleman's the opposite of what they had previously. He's not scared to make big decisions. He's not there to be not scared to be out in front. And this is what we do. We do it in marriage or relationships where the next person you date is the opposite of the ones you used to date. We date it with coaches, from the defensive mind to the offensive mind, from the heavy-handed guy to the player's coach. We do that, and we do it with front office guys. From the guy who loves groupthink to the guy who's like, you know what? I made this decision. This is the decision, and here's why it's going to work. So I think the Giants this is their process. It is a long-term process. We have a running back. We started to rebuild our offensive line. Did that last year. Now we think we have our quarterback of the future. Obviously, we got to continue to get more wide receivers. We got to get more talent in the offensive line and on the defensive side of the football. But let's accrue some talent in the draft where they're under rookie control and slowly but surely add to it. Not dumb at all, considering it's really been 5 bad years with one very fortunate year. Hi, I'm Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio, and you need to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel where you can hear and see me. Why not? Plus everybody else who's awesome here in Fox Sports Radio.